Good evening, Simon here, Explosive Action. I'm back with another DVD, Blu-ray and some books update. This should have been for the month of July, but some stuff took a bit not too long to get here, so it's for August. Let's get cracking. We're going to do this as quick as possible because there's quite a few things here. Starting with the DVDs, the first one here is called The Last Scout. Independent sci-fi film. I've got a bunch of DVDs. The first few here were like $5 cheapies off Amazon. Kind of took a bit of a punt on them based on the covers and reviews that didn't outright say they were terrible. And this is one of them. I don't know. Our only hope for survival is a new world, and it's set in the year 2065. That's about all I know at this point. It looks kind of interesting. Don't know anybody in it. That doesn't really matter. Yeah, survival of the human race stuff. Looks kind of cool. I've been told by one friend that it was not so much a science fiction action movie. It's more of a science fiction film. Like it plods along a little bit. But that's cool. I will check it out myself. Last Scout. Next one had a lot of good reviews. This one, Cold Skin. Sort of looks like almost like underwater vampire kind of things. As it says, the darker side of the shape of water. Had quite a few good reviews. There's even a German Blu-ray I think of this one, but again, $5 local DVD. I'll give it a go. We are never very far from those we hate. Not too sure what that's all about, but lighthouse and these creatures. The trailer looked pretty cool. Have these creatures climbing up the lighthouse, and I think there's sort of one good creature that I think is a female creature, gets along with one of the lighthouse keepers. Have a bit of a side plot there. Anywho, Cold Skin seems pretty cool. Check that one out. Next one, this is called 13 Sins. It's a US, I think, remake of 13 Game of Death, which is a Japanese film from memory. Been a long time since I've seen that original, but the trailer for this remake looked really good. And again, reviews said it was actually quite a respectful trailer out of its respectful remake out of its own sort of way of doing things. And it added Ron Perlman. He's up there, so like I ended up paying like $6 something for this. It seems pretty fun. So you get your sort of I guess there's like a bit of Saw in there, with a bit of like The Purge or something along those lines. But it's the guy volunteers to do it for a sort of almost competition. Earn some money to play this game, and of course it goes all pear-shaped and very violent. So 13 Sins. Looking forward to checking that one out. Next one I did actually watch. This is called Elizabeth Harvest. Again, another one of these $5 cheapies. I just went in blind because it looked cool. And it was pretty cool. From the makers of Gothica. I never saw that. Didn't look very good. But this was good. So it stars, what's her name? Abby Lee. I guess that's who this is here. This girl here. Starts with her, what looks like being driven home from a wedding. Her own wedding. And then, moving in with her husband. And it's all a bit weird from the outset. She gets told, this is my mansion. The guy's incredibly rich. You can go in any room you like, but you can't go in that room. So what does she do? She goes in that room. And this is in the first 10 minutes, so it's not giving anything away. In the first 10 minutes, she looks in that room, and there's clones. There's clones of her. Husband comes and absolutely destroys her, and then it flicks basically to the start of the movie again, with the husband driving home from this wedding with what seems to be the same girl again. And it's quite an interesting plot, and then it unfolds in a few different ways. I thought it was really good. Quite unique thing based on clones. Not where you think it was going to go with that kind of film. So Elizabeth Harvest, good fun. Next one is another one that has been getting a bit of a write-up, and I liked The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Apparently one of the producers is involved. This is The Prodigy. Possessed child. It's always good fun, I think. The anticipated foray into horror thriller genre. Emmy nominee Taylor Schilling stars in the project. I don't know these people. Taylor Schilling. I don't know, I'm supposed to know who that's supposed to be, but disturbing behaviour signals that an evil supernatural force has overtaken him. So there you go. Omen, possessed, exorcist kind of thing. Cool. Prodigy. See what it's like. As I said, had some good reviews. I am ripping through these intentionally. I got this one off Facebook for $10 whole, which is $2.50 a film, which is what I wanted to pay. It's the Insidious 4-pack. Now, I saw the first Insidious a few years ago, and I thought it was sort of okay. It was very ho-hum, very middle ground. Like, it's M-rated, so that's PG-13 in the US. It wasn't like, outrageously gory or anything like that. But there's 4 films in the franchise. They must be doing something right, and the price was right. So I will check this out at some point, check out all the other films in the series, see if it improves, see if I just needed to reevaluate the first one. And I like it because it's individual discs for this. It's not all crammed onto one set. So it's a kind of nice little set to have. The 4 Insidious films, 1, 2, 3, and The Last Key. I'll check them out. Are you a fan of the Insidious films? Let me know what you think. This was a nice find, apparently incredibly rare DVD now. This is Arachnid, the Region 1 disc, a Brian Usna film, and Brian Usna from Reanimator. He's got a way with creatures, and I think Arachnid's going to be a really good one to watch. I had this ex-rental of this thing, that Australian copy that had a faded cover, and I kept meaning to put it on, but I just kept picking up, looking at the cover, going, oh. And just didn't entice me to watch it. So this is much better, much cooler cover, better edition of the film, and it looks interesting. Arachnid, big spiders. I'll check it out. And like I said, it was quite a rare find. Showed up on eBay for like $10 Australian, which is unusual. A Region 1 DVD second hand on eBay Australia. It's not that common. And $10. And I looked at the sold prices for this film worldwide. There's some people asking $100 for this thing, so I don't know, whatever. Arachnid. This was interesting. This is a very old DVD, 2004 DVD. I got it brand new and sealed off Amazon Australia, shipped from Amazon US on Prime. So this was a direct first party item. This is Legion and Total Reality. It showed up in this manky looking shrink wrap, like it had been sitting on the shelf at Amazon for 15 years, and it must have just been there. They had one copy. I paid $25 or something for it, and once that one had sold, the only things left were $80 and $90 third-party sellers. So, I don't know, last one on Amazon, been there forever, and now I've got it. Came out through York Entertainment in 2004. Yep, old thing. But I'm really liking these double features that the York company did. They just do these sort of Sci-Fi Channel, early Sci-Fi Channel era films. I think these are from UFO. The first one, Total Reality, from UFO, and this Legion's from Maverick. Legion I have on a local DVD, and I quite enjoyed it, but the cover is just abominable. This is nicer, and I get to see Total Reality, which I've been keen to see for a long time. Total Reality's got David Bradley in it, which is why I was keen to see it. So, not sure if he does any martial arts or anything. It's a flipper disc, one movie on each side. Shows the age, so very cool. Nice to pick one of these up. That's 3 in this double feature line that I've got now. Very cool. Last DVD. This is a rare DVD. This is possibly one of the rarest Australian DVDs that I've ever found. Been on my eBay watch list for at least 5 years for me, and never shown up once. Not once. I've never seen it anywhere. The only time that I ever saw it listed, I searched the barcode, and the only time it's ever come up is at the Japanese language library in Sydney, who have a copy for rent. That's it. That's the only evidence I could find this existed. That is Samurai Pirate Eastern Eye DVD. Stupidly rare thing. I don't know why. Maybe it was a late Eastern Eye disc. Maybe they only did 500 copies or something, but it never ever shows up. And apparently it's the only legit copy of the film worldwide. The US discs are from grey market kind of production house, but Eastern Eye via Madman, legit discs. So I'm really keen to check this one out. It's from it's got Toshiro Mifune, who did Yojimbo. So that's really why I want to check it out, and also because it's for the Eastern Eye collection, which is very cool. There you go. There's the disc. Has some cards in there for other things you can get from them. I have an Eastern Eye video, if you've not seen it, from a couple of years back. Check that one out. Pretty much all my Eastern Eye collection, which has only grown a small amount. I've got a few box sets since then, which I've shown in my updates, the Kurosawa box sets and things like that. But I'm pretty sure I've got pretty much all the main Eastern Eye titles that I need. So that's really good. This is Samurai Pirate. Quick segue now into some paper-based media. Got some books. Got 3 books in a magazine. I'm going to take a quick look at. This is Chaz Ballam's Gore Score 2001. Very, very stoked to get this. Guy was selling it on Facebook. I picked up the Gore Score 2 years ago, I think now, which is a little thin bunch of reviews that he did in the late 80s, I think like 89, something on that period. And it was always one of those things that just fascinated me. I know that people like X-Ray the Mutilator. He used that as a Bible when he was younger to understand a lot of these films. Talking about lots of Italian films, things that he hadn't seen at the time. And this is the revised version, the 2001 edition that he did. So Chaz Ballam was best known for the Deep Red magazines. And this is a collection of reviews. So just short little reviews he's put together. There's Class of Newcomb High. There's some photos. Hellraiser 4, which he did not like very much. Mausoleum. So it's just a bunch of reviews, A to Z. That's all it is. A couple of photos. Very happy to get it. Gore Score 2001 edition. Nice little book. Here's a brand new one. Bleeding Skull, the 1990 Odyssey. I really enjoyed the 1980 Odyssey. Bleeding Skull is a website that does reviews of shot-on-video films. The dumpster diving, low-grade stuff, and then they've done the 1990s version. I actually had this book on pre-order possibly 2 years ago. Something happened. They delayed the book, and the pre-order exceeded the 12 months Amazon would hold a pre-order and automatically cancelled it, which was kind of funny. But then it finally released, and then it came back on, and here we go. So you can still get this. You can get this right now. Again, it's just a sort of collection of reviews, some nice cool photos, focusing on shot on video 90s films. We've got Colony Mutation over there, City of the Vampires, Deadly Eyes, Evil Streets, Lunch Meat. Lunch Meat's got a magazine named after it itself. The Mummy's Dungeon, Red Eyes. Anyway, really cool stuff. I've only just started to very briefly get into reading it, so I've got my work cut out for me on this one. 1990s shot on video horror films, Bleeding Skull. Very cool. This one I know a lot of people have been showing. If you ordered the Severin post-apocalyptic bundle in the States, you could get this book. Not available to international buyers, but you could buy it directly from France. In fact, I got this on their Kickstarter campaign in the dying days. I thought, oh look, it's about time, I'll throw in my money. Didn't want to get the French Blu-rays because it was pretty damn obvious that Severin were going to release the American discs, but I wanted the book, and it was such a good deal. If you got this during the pre-order campaign on Kickstarter, the worldwide postage was free, and this thing weighs a ton. After the World Ends. Really nice coffee table book of post-apocalyptic movies. I love my post-apocalyptic films, and this is a nicely presented, well-written book. Starts off in the very early films in the 50s, but then quickly goes into the movies from the 70s. There's a bit of Kurt Russell. Got some posters and images there. There's the rats. There's a picture from Endgame. I'm showing a lot of photos at the moment. If I can get to some of the inside articles. Well, there's your Rat's Night of Terror, which is nice. And more photos. There's some boobs in that one. There's a good one. There's Land of Doom. So this is definitely not the first time that post-apocalyptic films have been written about. David J. Moore did a really good book a few years ago that's a lot more thorough than this and covers a lot more films. But this is a nice coffee table one for the main highlights and a few obscurities. So really nice. Goes well for the casual viewer, the person that's buying the Severin Blu-rays but hasn't dug into the depths of the VHS. You're going to dig this one. After the World Ends. Really cool book. If you can't get it from the States anymore, I'm not sure if Severin has still got it, you can still get it from France, from Pulse Video, but you do have to pay postage now. But still, good book. The last one is a magazine. One of my favourite magazines is a British magazine through Midnight Media. I don't think it's in production anymore, at least they've gone quiet the last 6-7 years. It's called Is It Uncut? Magazine from mid to late 90s, I think, is when it started, and it's all about, at least when they first started the book, the magazine was all about giving UK public the knowledge about what VHS worldwide were the uncut versions of horror films, because UK was very bad at censoring. And I finally got issue number 1. Fantastic. Issue number 1 of Is It Uncut from Midnight Media. I was stoked. This came up for a very good price from a friend. And we'll just take a quick look at that. Again, it's just sort of reviews of films, but then it talks about, particularly at the time here, it talks about the tapes. So, there's Aftermath. That's a pretty grisly thing. Splatter University. Like, it's fairly redundant now. I mean, all these things are on Blu-ray, if not at least DVD, but I still love reading this magazine. There's a lot of good information. There's some interviews here, and it's cool to know how far we've come in a lot of this stuff. Like, this is just after the video nasties era in the UK, when it was really hard to get uncut films. And here's all stuff about Paul Naschy. Just to know about Paul Naschy films as a British person with no internet would have been incredibly hard. And here's everything he's ever done. There's no IMDb at this point. Very cool magazine. And I did all the hard yards to compare. Here's Beyond the Darkness. That thing was cut all over the place. And they've obviously identified which one is the uncut edition. The source print here is Best Video from Holland. There you go. As I said, irrelevant now because all this stuff is on Blu-ray, but it's still a damn fine read. Is It Uncut? Issue 1. Very cool. Double stack pile of Blu-rays here to check out. Got some cheapy horrors on the front. We got Deep in the Darkness. This looks kind of cool. The cover is pretty interesting. The next 3 or so in a row, I got them in a job lot for $10 each, which for a Shout Factory in Australia is practically giving it away. So yeah, these are modern independent horror films. This one is starring Dean Stockwell from Quantum Leap, which is a guy I haven't seen around for a while. Sean Patrick Thomas. A few other people. It is New York City on the quiet small town of Ashborough. Discovers the town's deep secret, terrifying, controlling race of creatures that live in the darkness and the woods behind his home. Interesting. Deep in the Darkness. See how it is. It's got a reversible cover. I didn't think much of their kind of overblown, crappy looking painting, to be honest. I thought this one was very artful, and that was the reverse. So there you go, Deep in the Darkness. This one looks so Sci-Fi Channel it hurts. This is Dark Hall. Apparently it's got Tom Sizemore in it, and I like my Tom Sizemore. This is a Sci-Fi Channel film, Dark Hall, so that's why I picked it up. But it's Sci-Fi Channel that's not like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not that modern. Like it's modern-ish. It's like 2014. There was a 2014 is pretty new, but it's not where they are now. The films now are very different because they're mainly asylum films now. Actually, I think they don't do Sci-Fi Channel originals anymore, so this is probably about the end of it. And now it's just the asylum films. So anyway, kind of rambling. Dark Hall, it's obviously got some kind of winged demon creature on a truck. Cryptic Prophecy, Secret Guardians, Half-Human Sister, 18-wheeler truck. Fate of the World, Prophecies Again, Mysterious Thrilling Creature feature, etc, etc. It's gonna be fine. It's got Tom Sizemore. Looks like Pazuzu from The Exorcist. There you go. Dark Hall, pray that it never arrives. This one I don't know a great deal about at all. It was just part of the job lot. Narcopolis. Leave viewers buzzing, dazed, and desperately jonesing for the next hit. Jonesing? Whatever. It's the future, 2024. That's not really the future. Manufacture and consumption of drugs has been legalized. That's potentially possible. Drex are an elite unit created by an overstretched police force to keep the black market dealers off the streets. Drex. Okay. When Drek and former addict Frank Greaves is called to investigate an unidentifiable corpse, he makes the connection to the biggest and most powerful drug producer of them all. Blah blah blah. Clear his name, dead body, etc, etc. It looks a bit more like a futuristic thriller than anything else. When you got a guy with a hoodie on, you're sort of getting crime thriller. I think it's going to bear that way out, but it's futuristic. It's got the drugs. It's 2024. It's only 3 years from now, so I wonder if they're going to have any flying cars. Hopefully not. This is a good one. I really enjoyed this film. This is The Pact. Had a really crappy DVD, local ex-rental DVD. We did not get a Blu-ray out here. This movie had a lot of hype. We didn't get a Blu-ray. Whatever. It came up very cheap yet again, and I nabbed it off Facebook. So yes, nice Blu-ray of the film. And I watched it, and it's a really creepy film. Actually, quite well done. The whole thing has got this brownish sort of sepia tone is across all the shots in the film. It's intentionally how they've done it. It's got Casper Van Dien, which is another plus for me. always like a bit of Casper. But it's got blind clairvoyance. It's got sort of ghost things in the house, people disappearing, creepy noises, that kind of thing. But it doesn't go down the paranormal activity route. It's an actual film, and I think it's all the better for it. The main woman in it is Katie Lotz from Mad Men. I've never seen Mad Men. But she does a really good job in this sort of trying to unpick what's been going on, the history of this house, what the noises are, that kind of thing. So yeah, The Pact, apparently it was in selection at Sundance. I don't know if it won or not, but there you go. Really good, and it's got a sequel that's sitting on my shelf. I'll see if that's any good one day. This one I got cheap off Amazon. A few people told me it's good. The Eyes of My Mother. Is it Spanish film? I think it's a Spanish film. And it's shot in black and white. It's also quite short. It's something like 75 minutes. In Portuguese, 76 minutes. It is a beautiful nightmare from start to finish. And this is what curdled Americana looks like, apparently. There you go. I don't know much about it. It just got the raves, so I jumped on it. I watched the trailer. It didn't give too much away, which is a good trailer. But I thought it looked very artful being shot in black and white, so yeah, price was right. We've got Francesca understands anatomy, is unfazed by death. Shocking event shatters their idyllic life. She must cope with the nightmarish repercussions that echo into adulthood. As she matures, it becomes clear that this beautiful, dangerous young woman has become very peculiar. Oh, there you go. Hands down, one of the best horror movies of the year. We'll see how that pans out. The Eyes of My Mother. Looks cool. This one was really good. Flight to Mars. Brand new release from, what's the company called? The Film Detective, who are a fairly new company. I think they started doing manufacture on demand stuff. This is definitely not. This is a properly pressed, very well done disc. Science fiction film from 1951. I'd always been curious to see it. Never had, now I have, and I think it's really good. It's actually very quaint. You watch it and it's very... You get a warm heart from watching it because it's 6 years before the Sputnik was launched. I mean, this is so early in space stuff. They didn't know what they were really talking about. So it was before Star Trek, before any of this stuff. They just had no idea really what was out there and how travel was going to work. There's some great scenes. They launched, there's this rocket, of course, they're going to Mars, and they've just got, army guys and, the pretty girl who happens to be a scientist, but, it's 1951, so she may as well be the tea lady in the film. And they're just standing there in normal clothes, in the rocket. The rocket's flying. No such thing as anti-gravity. They're sitting. One of them's eating a sandwich, and one of them's pouring tea from a thermos. I mean, I just watched it and went, "Oh, that's nice. That's what they thought was going to happen." I don't know. I thought it was really good. And then they finally land on Mars, and the aliens, of course, just us, but in funny uniforms. Like it's just good fun. It's very short. It's only 72 minutes, and the ending is just sort of like done, finished ending. Rocket takes off, end. Just it's from is it written here? The company that did these, and the name has now escaped me, but it's sort of a legendary, I think a low budget kind of film house. I can't remember the name of them now, but I thought this was good fun, and the restoration is really good. 4K restoration, sourced from the 35mm Cinecolor separation negatives. There you go. And you're never going to find a movie like this looking any better. Like the film stock that they used was obviously, stuff they got from the 40s, and it looks great. Like it's color, it's got a healthy grain. It's not dropping any damage on the film or anything like that, and it looks like a film of its time. So yeah, I thought it was really good. It's got a nice little booklet in there too. A bit of an essay about the film and about sort of science fiction in the early days. So yeah, definitely recommend checking it out. Flight to Mars, good fun. This one's on my list to watch. Another new release, but quite cheap to pick up. This is SAS Red Notice. Picked it up because it looks like a military shooter kind of MI5 kind of thing, and has Ruby Rose, who I thought was really good in what's the thing called that I liked? The Doorman. That's right. Looking at my shelf over there, she was really good in the Doorman. Apparently, she plays the bad guy in this and has that haircut. So cool. Sam Human is in this. Hannah John Carmen. I don't know who these people are, but I know who Ruby Rose is. It's from London to Paris. SAS. Train is hijacked by the war criminal Ruby Rose. Trapped in the English Channel and facing massive loss of life if the plan goes ahead. Tom is the only hope that Sophie and passengers have to survive. It sounds like Under Siege 2, and that's fine with me. Hopefully it's going to be fun. Here you go. SAS Red Notice. Cool stuff. Here's one I don't remember at all. I do not remember this film. I know I watched it in the 90s, but I don't remember it. Hostage. I think it was the 90s, maybe it was like 2001 or something. 2005, God, no. I did watch this though, but I don't remember anything about it. New release of Hostage on Blu-ray. I think this is the first time on Blu-ray, pretty sure. If not, it's a cheap reissue, whatever. Paramount film. And it's around about that time for most people where Bruce is, running out of steam. Check out my Bruce Willis direct-to-video video I did a couple of months ago, if you're interested in his newer stuff. But yeah, Hostage looks pretty cool. Die Hard meets Panic Room and kicks its ass, is what it says here. I swear I've seen it, but I don't remember anything else about it. Bruce Willis, and we get Kevin Pollak and Jonathan Tucker from Westworld. Okay. And Ben Foster from 3:10 to Yuma. Yeah, I really wish I could remember it. I know I've seen it, but I also haven't seen it. So there you go, Hostage. This one was really good, and the last Blu-ray in this pile. This is Flight of the Intruder. Not what I was expecting, but I still think it was really good. I thought it might be just a balls-out action film. There's a lot of sort of thinking moments where it stops, and there's conversations and planning, and sort of just not balls out action all the time, and that's fine. Once you know that, it's fine. It's not like a cheap 89-minute action film, and in fact goes for 114 minutes, so it pushes it a little bit there. Danny Glover plays the commander of a naval what the hell they call it? Like, the battleship thing that's got the planes on it. I don't know my military terms. Anyway, he's the commander of one of those. Willem Dafoe is a pilot that's a bit of a maverick, and then you get Brad Johnson here, who is the new kid, but when they fly these planes, there's a co-pilot. His co-pilot in one mission was killed, and he wants revenge. You don't supposed to get revenge. It's all set Vietnam War, and they're at that point where it's like, this is a pointless war. Why are we doing this? And he just decides to go on a maverick mission to actually, inflict some real damage instead of the pointless missions they've been sent on. Willem Dafoe goes along with him, and that's when the action really takes off and becomes a pretty cool film. So yeah, definitely check this one out. I'd never seen it before. It's from 1990 on the nose. So you're right there in Danny Glover town. It's like Predator 2 time. He's right in the Lethal Weapon movies, so he's on his game. He's quite funny in the film too. And it's really cheap. This is a really cheap Blu-ray. I think this is a reissue, so cool. Flight of the Intruder. Onto the second pile of Blu-rays. We've got 3 Eddie Murphys in a row. We have the new edition of 48 Hours. We have the first time on Blu-ray edition of another 48 Hours, and we have the Golden Child. These are really cool editions that have come out through Paramount. So you get the slip, which is interesting. I don't mind the custom art, but what you get is this fold out with the posters there. I think that's really neat. So that's the slip, and then underneath is the other art. I kind of would have liked to see some different art there, but you get what you pay for. They're quite cheap. The transfer on this is fantastic. It's never looked this good. Everyone knows 48 Hours. Absolutely top 20 hard-hitting R-rated action film for me. Probably top 10 on a good day. Everybody's on fire. Nick Nolte is great. Eddie Murphy is on top of his game right here. Super violent. It's a buddy cop thing, but they're not both cops. One's a criminal, and they have to learn to deal with each other throughout the entire film, and that's what makes it funny. And then Eddie being Eddie is just great, and Nick Nolte being Nick Nolte, he's just vicious in this thing. But anyway, the main takeaway, because I'm sure you've all seen this, the transfer on this edition is really, really good. Fantastic Walter Hill film, and I'm also a big fan of the sequel. It's not as good as the first one, because it's you kind of know what you're getting. The first one, you didn't know what you were getting. This is cut and paste, follows on. It's still a really, really good film, and it's always been, at least in Australia, been treated really badly. The DVD was letterbox. It wasn't anamorphic. It was one of the worst DVDs I had. It's never been on Blu-ray in this country. I don't think it's on Blu-ray anywhere. I think this is the first Blu-ray, which is ridiculous to think about it. Like 2021, and this is the first time that this film is on Blu-ray. I don't know, but if you've seen the first one, you've seen the second one. If you've not seen either of them and you like hard-hitting 80s action, please check out both of the 48 Hours films. And again, you get the poster thing, which is cool. Lots of fun. The music is really good for the time. Lots of 80s. Lots of 80s songs you associate with these films. Like Roxanne that Eddie Murphy keeps singing whenever he's got headphones on. Good fun, great transfer. Another 48 Hours. And then there's the Golden Child, which has had a Blu-ray before, but wasn't that special. This one looks really good. This is Eddie Murphy's answer to Big Trouble in Little China, really. It's his fantasy action film. He's a fish out of water, doesn't know why he's involved in this thing, has been chucked into trying to save a young Tibetan child that is magical and is the key to the end of the key to saving the world from the evil Charles Dance, who is the devil, actually is the devil, I think. It's a very, very 80s film. It's very, it's got the Indiana Jones thing kind of going on. I don't think people remember this one as much as, Beverly Hills Cop and 48 Hours kind of films. think it sort of gets lost a little bit in there, and definitely not as big as Big Trouble Little China, but it's really good fun, I think, and Eddie plays it really well. So another one with a really good transfer. There's the art there. Definitely recommend it. Good stuff. Next one, I don't know if I can recommend because I haven't seen any of this, but it was so cheap. I got this on the Amazon Prime sale day for like $14, something like that. For apparently we have 5 Dragonheart films now. Who'd have thunk it? I like dragon movies. I've never actually seen Dragonheart. I know it's got Sean Connery. I think was he voicing the dragon? I think anyway. And then it's got 4 sequels. We've got Robbie Benson, we've got Ben Kingsley, Patrick Stewart, Helena Bonham Carter's in one of them. I don't know. It's I'll see what they're like. I presume, I know the first went to cinema and was a big deal. I think the second did. 3, 4, and 5, anyone's guess. I'm pretty sure they're all direct-to-video at that point, but they're all single discs. They're all nice Blu-rays. I actually had a slip. It was a crappy one, so I filed it away. But yeah, there you go. 5 Dragonheart films in a all-you-can-eat Blu-ray collection. Sure. If you've seen any of these films, particularly the sequels, let me know what you think. Now we're into some fancy box set kind of thing. Well, there's the box sets, but these are the fancy editions. Raven Banner, Canadian site, had a sale. They had, I think it was like 30% off and free shipping, like international shipping, something like that. These were really cheap. Took a punt on this one for the sake of Vicious, which looks incredibly grisly. Overworked nurse returns home to find a maniac hiding out with a bruised and beaten hostage. Unexpected wave of violent intruders descend upon her home. It's a fight for survival. So, yeah, home invasion movie. There you go. There's the original art. You get this cool slip with their edition. Movie came out in... It's a Canadian film. Came out in... do we have a date? I don't see a date on here. But anyway, pretty recently, like the last sort of 5 years kind of thing. Yeah. Don't know. But, it's got a hammer on the spine. Hammers and things on the front. I think it's going to be pretty eventful. And it's only 80 minutes, so she's going to do a lot of hammering in that time. And this one, been keen to see for ages. Baskin, a Turkish horror film. I really like the artwork on this one. They kind of forgot to put it on the spine. I don't know why. Just to do a wraparound. So on the shelf it looks like that. Baskin. That's the artwork you're more familiar with. I think Shout might have done a version that has this artwork. Obviously it's a Canadian release. One of the best horror films of the decade is what it says on the back here. Not since Hellraiser have I witnessed such a frightening personification of evil. That's another good line. Unsuspecting cops enter the blood-spattered bowels of hell. They stumble upon a black mass, unspeakable horrors in an abandoned building. Tour de force feature debut from talented director Can Vernal. Inspiration is drawn from Apocalypse Now and Hellraiser, as well as Caravaggio and H.R. Geiger. It's going to be mental is what this is going to be. So yeah, Turkish film, runs at 97 minutes. I know a lot of people have said it's really good and really over the top, so looking forward to checking it out. Just a simple disc in there. Yeah, there you go. Really nice slip on it. Get that back on there. Baskin. Let me know what you think of that one. The Vestron line is back. They had a bit of a hiatus. They're back with number 20 in the spines. This is the Wraith. Can you believe I've never seen Wraith? Stop yelling at me. I've never seen it. It just didn't happen. I know the VHS cover. It had a cool lithographic sort of edition out here. I never saw the thing. It just didn't happen. Charlie Sheen, Nick Cassavetes, Randy Quaid. Like, I know it's an 80s sort of classic or B classic, but I've just never seen it. 1986. 4 glowing orbs crash into each other over the Arizona desert. They leave in their wake a badass Dodge Turbo Interceptor and its enigmatic helmeted driver. Charlie Sheen appears in the town. Blah blah blah. Ruthless leader, gang of racers, etc. Anyway, yeah, the car's called the Wraith. I've never seen it. I don't know why I haven't seen it. Maybe it's because of that shirt. Might have been that shirt. Could have been that shirt. It's pretty horrendous. Or the tie dyed. I don't know. It might have been that. Anyway, I now have I have the Wraith. I can check it out. Same art underneath. I'm not sure how to reverse or anything like that. No, it didn't. And it's one of those horrendous eco cases. Ooh, if I had time and a hammer, I would smash them all. But anyway, the Wraith. I will finally check it out. Stop yelling at me. And on to some of the Asian cinema pickups. New one from 88 Films, Stephen Chow's Forbidden City Cop. I love touching this. It's a velvety thing. I don't know how they do it. It's like, it's almost got little hairs on the spine. Oh. Anyway, I'll stop being weird. I've not seen much of Stephen Chow before Shaolin Soccer. That was like his big thing. Shaolin Soccer, Kung Fu Hustle, CJ7, movies like that. The Mermaids, I think the most recent one. But his career before those was huge. There's so many films. And I haven't seen them. Some people like him, some people don't. And I liked the newer films. I'm going to check this one out. This is Forbidden City Cop, 1996. So it's actually quite late. Would have been probably just before, if not the same time as Shaolin Soccer. It's pretty early, pretty late. Sorry, 1996. That's like the end of Hong Kong cinema as well. It looks a lot of fun, and it's about all I can say really. Nice slip. The original art there. I do recall seeing that on some Region 3 DVDs, and VCDs and things, but I never picked them up, which is a bit silly of me, but doesn't matter now. You get the disc, get some cards, there's a booklet, which is a lot of cool stuff for Forbidden City Cop. We'll check this one out pretty soon, I think, because he's good fun. Next one, this one I got in yesterday, Millionaire's Express. This is a really good fun one. This is Sammo Hung film, and Yuen Bao. It's got Cynthia Rothrock, Richard Norton, proper classic mid-80s Hong Kong film. Lots of fun, lots of good gags and lots of good action. Ridiculous Eureka collection here. They are so good with these things. So you get the slip, we get a poster, double-sided poster in the slip, and go inside here. Unfortunately, they didn't do reverse art. I was hoping to get the theatrical art. They don't. There's like a behind the ticket, the boarding pass, they have sort of original drawing artwork, but it spans everything. It's not reversible in that way. Nice artwork though. You get the booklet there all about the film, which is cool, and you get a Blu-ray and a Blu-ray of special features. It's nice. It doesn't have to have a DVD. I think we're well past that point now of having a second disc being a DVD that's a feature, like it's just the movie again. We're way past that. Does anybody ever get that DVD and put that in? Oh, it's for the holiday home. No, it's not. Nobody ever uses those DVDs in those packs. But 2 Blu-ray, much better. Usual Eureka, like there is so much stuff on there you can't even read it. You get the Blu-ray of the original Hong Kong theatrical cut, the extended version of the film. You get a the English language version of the Shanghai Express. It's a different cut of the film, and you get this one called the hybrid cut, which is the hypothetical complete version of the film with newly exclusively created for this release English subtitles. So that's like we've got all the footage and stuck it together edition. Very curious to check that one out. I've only ever seen the theatrical. Hong Kong Legends HKL had the DVD out here, which was quite a hard one to get for its time when I did pick it up, but now it's on Blu-ray, which I'm very, very happy about. I'm not going to try and re-sleeve that. So there you go, Millionaire's Express. And the last one on the regular DVDs here, that is not very regular. This is, I think, the new line that they're doing from 88 Films, these slip box things, the hard boxes. Trying to do a Vinegar Syndrome. This is Erotic Ghost Story, which takes me back to the 90s and watching SBS after 9:30 at night, because that's where the boobs were. Amazing. Erotic Ghost Story. Didn't think we'd be getting this thing on Blu-ray, that's for sure. There's the same artwork that is used on the Fortune Star Legendary DVD, and you get a book all about the film. Oh, I can't show that photo. There's some stuff about the movie, and I can't show that. I can't show that photo. I can't show that one. I can just about show that one. Anyway, it's erotic, of course. It's got boobies, and in here we get the disc. I've already reversed the art. We get poster, and yeah, nice addition for a let's just call it sleazy erotic film. Very cool, very nice to have. Again, not one I ever expected to upgrade into not only a Blu-ray but a ridiculous box set from '88 like this. Yeah, it's a who do we have in this one? Amy Yip, Man Soo. It's got Lam Cheung. He's playing his usual role in there, being Mr. Vampire kind of thing, and yeah, directed by Nam Nai Choi. So there you go. That is Erotic Ghost Story. We're almost there. We're onto the box sets now, and I've got to start with a box set that I've been very much enjoying watching, but it is also the worst box set ever made, and that's apparent when you look at the artwork. This is the Complete Police Academy series. What were they thinking? I don't know. Was this a rights issue? I cannot explain this. That is the absolute worst design I've ever seen on anything. It's no clip art. Just I don't know. But anyway, this is the UK set. It is incredibly cheap, probably because nobody's buying the thing because of that art. 25 Australian dollars, including free Prime shipping, got me this set. This set is actually really good. You get let's start from the real film. You get terrible artwork again, but you get each movie on their own disc. There's 1 and 2. You get 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and number 7. But you get them all, and these are proper Warner Brothers releases, and they look fantastic. The prints on this, the audio on this is excellent. I do not understand why there's been no American box set with proper artwork. Something must be going on that we have crappy artwork on a UK set and no other edition worldwide. Some kind of rights problems there must be. But anyway, if you can put the crappy covers aside, this is a really good set. If you like the films, or at least the first 4, which are the most classic ones, it's a no-brainer. Pick it up. The transfers are really, really good for the type of film this is. Like, they're not outstanding, going back to the negatives and remastered everything, but they're good quality older film transfers in HD with good sound. What can you ask for? Yeah, so far I'm up to rewatching the first 4. Number 4, it was just a nostalgia kick. Oh, the whole time I remembered everything in that film. I remembered all of them, but that one, I remember every beat, every line. I must have watched that one the most. I never owned them, so I guess I must have taped it off TV and just watched that back in the 90s. That would have been it, like 1992 kind of thing. Just watch it, record it off Channel 10 or something like that. Anyway, so the next ones are 5, 6, and then 7, which I've never seen, but I will make it a point to watch it. I remember though, number 6, City Under Siege, I used to like when I was a young one. It might be crap now, but I'm sure the nostalgia will hit me again for that one. So there you go, Police Academy box set. Ignore the terrible art, but really good transfers, and the films still hold up. Right, we got 3 Arrow box sets, and this is why this is a August update and not July. These damn things were just doing the tour of Singapore. They were just watching the tracking, was just pages of Singapore. And sorry, we're trying to get it back on track. And okay, guys, I'm going to miss my update. Anyway, here we are. Finally arrived today, so I've not had a chance to really do anything with them, but I wanted to show them. This is the Years of Lead. I've taken the little paper things off and filed them away. Years of Lead box set. Eurocrime. Italian, 5 classic Italian crime thrillers. 73 to 77. Lesser known directors, but some really good films in here. some I've been really keen to see for a long time. So first of all, you get a nice book, which is quite glossy. Goes through the Italian crime thrillers, talks about the movies, some photos, all kinds of stuff about the movies, which is cool. This one I've been interested in seeing. Camera Obscura did a Blu-ray a few years ago. No, the case is happily resolved. It's such a Giallo name, it really is. I think that's why I wanted to see it, because of that very Giallo sounding name. Who did this one? It doesn't say immediately here on the back. But as I said, the names of the directors were not... there you go, Vittorio Salerno. Not a name that rings a bell for me anyway. So the case is happily resolved. And then the rest are double discs. I think that's the only one by itself, right? These ones are all double titles. Cult 38, Special Squad, as well as, and this is slightly annoying that they've done it this way, Highway Racer. I would have preferred one film on each, back and front. But if I want Highway Racer, I've got to flip the entire thing. It's a little bit silly. But, it is what it is. So 2 films on the one disc there. Cult 38 I've heard of, never seen. That's a Massimo Dallamano film, and Highway Racer is a Stevio Marci film. So there you go. Very cool. I like the custom art on these ones actually. Don't often do, but these ones I think are kind of cool. Like newspaper cutouts. Savage 3 and Like Rabid Dogs we have on this one. Vittorio Salerno one again, and Like Rabid Dogs, take a look here, is a Mario Imparoli, I think is what that says there. So there you go, bunch of Eurocrime, very cool, and a Enter the World of 4K Ultra HD card thing. We've got Versus on the back. I need to pick up that Versus Blu-ray actually. I've been a bit lazy on that one. So there you go, the Years of Lead. Nice box set, one I'm keen to get into. And yeah, good stuff from Arrow. Nice hard box in the original press edition here. Very cool. Check that one out soon. The next one, I was very, 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 very happy to see this one get released, because it was pretty much every film of note that the director had done. So Giant Spider Invasion was the first of his film, the only of his films that I had seen, and that was put out by Dark Force in a very good Blu-ray. This is the Weird Wisconsin Bill Rebane box. Pardon me, you get quite a lot in here too, so cool box. You get a hardcover book, which is actually really nice. Get some stuff about the film, some cool photos, very nice. And then we get a poster. You get a documentary, Who is Bill Rebane, which I'm keen to check this one out. That goes for, how long is it? 115 minutes. Quite a lengthy documentary, which is very cool. It has a few bonus features of its own, so that's nice. We get The Game, which is also, again, they've done this. The Game and Twister's Revenge. These ones I hadn't heard of, so trusting that they'll be entertaining. The Alpha Incident is one that I had heard of and was really keen to check out. I think it was Extra, the Mutilator, was telling me that was one of the ones that was particularly good some time ago. And then the other side is The Demons of Ludlow. Very nice. And the last one you get Monster A Go-Go. And the other one that sounds particularly good for me in this is Invasion from Inner Earth. Sounds really entertaining. So really nice box set. And like I said, I think it only leaves like maybe one Blood Harvest, I think, which is on 88 films and Vinegar Syndrome. And then maybe like a couple of short films or something. That is literally everything the director has done is on Blu-ray. In the space of like a year, it's quite ridiculous, or a year and a half, 2 years. Amazing. People complain that Blu-ray physical media is dying, but I think we're just having this second renaissance right now, where these companies are just digging for gold and releasing things like this. Weird Wisconsin, Bill Rebane collection. The last one. Talk about digging for gold. My God. This is the Daimajin Trilogy box set from Arrow. Wow. The films themselves I hadn't heard of until maybe a year ago. I'd seen some footage around, but I had heard of the Daimajin through like folklore and things like that before, so I was really interested to see what this was all about. Take a look at the box set. This thing is tightly packed. Book, huge book. We'll get that in order. Very nice. It looks just like a manga. You know, so you've got the little logo down there in the corner. So talking about films, some nice artwork and stuff. This is really good. We'll get these guys out. Very tightly packed. So we get first film, Daimajin. Second film, which is Return of Daimajin. And the third one, which is The Wraith of Daimajin. So what these films are, I remember who's putting this one out. This is a Daiei, so not like Toho or anything like that. Daiei, D-A-I-E-I, Daiei. So it's set in like 16th century feudal Japan, samurai and all that kind of thing. And it has a bit of a riff on the story of the Golem, where instead of us having giant Godzillas coming out of the place, we have these big stone men that do battle. This is looking like absolutely crazy stuff to me. An ancient god called Amasian that lies beneath the rock, abound amongst the peasant denizens of a small mountain village community ruled over by a feudal lord. Blah blah blah. Angry mountain spirit, secret part of the mountain. Ancient stone idol sits half buried in the rock. And the cast of the film have had enough of the ruling people, and well, they summon the Majin to take care of everything. So these are going to be a riot. Definitely very cool looking things. Custom artwork behind it, but I actually, in this case, preferred the originals. I mean, it's nice. I think it's Kung Fu Bob stuff again. Could be wrong. But yeah, I did prefer the the original sort of poster art there, or at least photos from. You get some cards. There is another booklet-y thing in there. So much stuff. They put it in little slimline cases. You don't get that much stuff in all of them. Yeah, we get more cards in there. So yeah, I'm looking forward very much to checking these three things out. I've never seen them before, just kind of going in blind. I had watched Arrow's trailer that they assembled, and I can't, look at that, I can barely get it in such a tight fit. And there we go, the Daimajin trilogy. Very cool. The amount of this stuff now, the giant Gamera box, the huge Godzilla set, all the big Japanese things are coming out. Ultraman, all the series are out. It's just going nuts now. Blu-ray is having a second renaissance. The Daimajin trilogy. And that is my update for August DVDs, Blu-rays, some books. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Remember to press the subscribe, hit like and all that kind of thing. Check out that, whatever they may be. And I will see you